Buenas tardes y muy bienvenidos a este encuentro con todos los medios de prensa para presentar el gran estreno de las 9 vidas de Ozzy Osbourne. Hoy tenemos la gran oportunidad de poder conversar con Ozzy, el príncipe de la oscuridad, desde Black Sabbath hasta el día de hoy, un ícono y un referente de la música y el mundo del espectáculo. Con Sharon Osbourne, su musa, su mujer y su roca. Y Jack, su hijo y además productor de esta biografía que solo se va a estrenar y transmitir por A&E en todas sus plataformas. Y tenemos además la fecha de estreno el 15 de marzo en América Latina y el 20 de marzo en Brasil. Recuerden que aquellas personas que quieran escucharlo en traducción simultánea en español pueden con su Zoom buscar esa facilidad para que puedan escuchar todo en español, ya que la entrevista será conducida en inglés. Bueno, y sin más, vamos a presentarles a Carmen Larios, nuestra Senior VP de Content para A&E.
Muchas gracias, César. Es un honor, un gran placer y con mucho entusiasmo estamos aquí el día de hoy para presentarles un proyecto que nos toca mucho el corazón y también nos entusiasma por lo que representa para muchos de nosotros ver la vida. Y la vida la quiero decir desde el punto de vista no solo como músico, sino también como padre y como figura pública de Ozzy Osbourne. Esta es una biografía producida por el hijo de Ozzy Osbourne, así que tiene un toque muy interesante y único que se va a transmitir únicamente por A&E, bajo la franquicia o el paraguas de Biography. Y ustedes me dirán, bueno, ¿y qué es Biography? Algunos de ustedes nos acompañaron durante muchos años en la trayectoria de contar historias en primera persona, en su mayoría, de grandes líderes, íconos y personajes de nuestro mundo, contados a través del lente donde solo A&E lo sabe hacer, con un acceso maravilloso, con una mirada de un personaje completo, lo que es contar una biografía. Nosotros vamos a transmitir en todas nuestras plataformas las 9 vidas de Ozzy y los invitamos a que los vean, a que comuniquen este gran estreno y que sean partícipes de lo que la franquicia de Biography trae para ella y para su público. Así que muchísimas gracias. Estoy segura que todos se mueren de ganas de escuchar a Ozzy más que a mí y de ver algo más. Así que sin más, les doy un adelanto de lo que vamos a poder ver en la biografía de las 9 vidas de Ozzy. Muchas gracias.
Muy buenas tardes. Good afternoon. We are excited. We are so happy that today we are going to have the chance to interview Ozzy, Sharon, and Jack Osbourne to talk about the 9 lives of Ozzy Osbourne, the bio of Ozzy, only on A&E. Now it's time for the interview. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Ozzy. Hello, Jack.
Hi.
Hello. We want to know, Ozzy, who is or who was John Michael Osbourne?
John Michael Osbourne was a guy who was a son of a working class mother and father. I was confused when I was younger what I wanted to do in life, and then I heard the Beatles. When I heard the Beatles, I knew what I wanted to do.
And who is Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness?
That is the persona. That's the stage person. He's too much to handle when I'm not working. I leave him on stage.
Perfect. And how do you define yourself, Ozzy, as an artist?
What?
As an artist, how do you define yourself?
I'm very conscientious. I care deeply about my audience. I'm the luckiest man in the world to have such a long and prosperous, fruitful career. And that my wife is a big part of my career because she directs me after leaving Sabbath.
Which is your legacy?
My legacy is that I had the best life that anybody ever had. You know, I mean, I came from rags to riches. I'm back again, and you know, it's my profession has opened the doors to so many other ways. I mean, my way of life is completely completely
Different to what you had.
yeah, different to what I had.
How, Sharon, and maybe you and Jack can help me out. How do you describe your life, the life of Ozzy, and how accurate is the 9 lives of Ozzy Osbourne, the bio on ella?
I think it's a very accurate documentary. The way Ozzy is portrayed is Ozzy. You know, we didn't try and alter him for the documentary. It's very real. It's very truthful, and
It's not always nice either. It's not always like, it's not, we haven't glossed it over to make me look bigger and better than what I am. There's some good, there's some sad, there's some very honest information in there. Very honest.
yeah, you know, it shows Ozzy's triumphs. It shows Ozzy's hard times, and you know, I just think that it's a great documentary on somebody's life, and Ozzy's had an amazingly interesting life.
So, do you have any regrets, Ozzy?
Yeah, we all have regrets. I have regrets, but would I change any of them? The regrets are what help you become what you are at the end of the day. I mean, I think every living person has some regrets, but I don't let it rule my life.
And what is family to you?
Pardon?
What is
What is family to you?
My family is everything.
Yes.
Family, my wife, Sharon, and my 3 children. I have children from a previous marriage. I love my family. It's the reason why I'm here.
And what was the best experience of your lifetime?
Meeting Sharon. Meeting Sharon and falling in love with her. And I love her more now than I ever did when I first met her. So there's something I'm doing right there.
Sharon, and the final question is for you. Everything seems around you. You are not only the love of his life and his muse and his inspiration, but you're also the one who makes sure that he has the sweetest moments and the strongest moment, and you were always at his side, always giving the voice of reason. How do you feel about that?
I'm blessed. I was very, very blessed to have met Ozzy, and Ozzy changed my life also. In, you know, I never ever thought that I would ever have my own family until I met Ozzy, and he's done so much for me as I've done for him. And I think that we were 2 people that, you know, from different walks of life, with nothing and everything in common. So it was a relationship, I feel, that was destined.
What is love for you?
Ozzy.
What is love?
Sharon
Ozzy.
Love it.
and Sharon.
What about you, Jack? We know you are there. What is family and love for you, Jack?
I mean, you know, it for me, it's everything. You know, my kids and my life and my entire adult life. I've worked and lived and, you know, done everything with my family. I always have. So it goes just into the kind of just typical family relationships. You know, all, you know, mine, Kelly, mom, dad, like our lives are so intertwined on so many levels. You know, and ultimately, I think the love of each other is kind of what makes us want to endure the chaos that comes along with that.
Perfect. Now, Ozzy and Sharon, I want you to invite our audience in Latin America and Brazil to watch the 9 lives of Ozzy Osbourne. How would you invite them?
Oh, I would say that
If you really want to know the real truth behind Ozzy Osbourne, see 9 Lives of Ozzy. It's so well done, and people that have seen it have gone like, "Wow!" You know, it's just all I can say to you: watch it and see what you think.
yeah,
I love it.
you will learn so much about Ozzy, and it's real.
And it's not all glamorized, and it's not all polished off, and you know, we're not high folks. It's very honest. It's very truthful, honest, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's right. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for a wonderful biography. Now, I really believe that it's a beautiful way of storytelling, very unique. It gives you the heart and the soul of Ozzy and his family, and it's a wonderful way to get to know you, Ozzy, to get to know your music, and to get to know your story and your family. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's a beautiful gift for all of us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. He constantly works at trying to be a better person, at trying with his sobriety, at becoming a better father, at being a good granddad, and just constantly trying to be better. I love that about him.
I think people love my father for the same reasons I love my father. He is the most irresistible madman you will ever meet in your life.
Pearl's class are singing Crazy Train at their school play. I don't know, it's kind of cool. You know, yeah, he's done a lot of like fucking weird things and he's been shit at times, but like his contribution's been far greater than any of his faults. Like, that's how he should be remembered.
You know, the time when I will retire, when I can hear him nail a lid on my box. And then I'll fucking do an encore. I'm the Prince of Darkness.
Bueno, y ahora estamos de regreso. Gracias a Ozzy, Sharon y Jack, hemos vivido unos momentos emocionantes, diferentes y muy humanos. Now I want to welcome them. Please, let's open the screens. Juan Pablo, if you can help me out, let's have the conversation with Sharon, with Jack, and let's please open the mics for the Q&A from our media outlets in Latin America and Brazil. And Mariana, let's start with the first one, please.
Yes, Cesar, we're going to start with Álvaro Cueva from Milenio Newspaper, Mexico. Álvaro?
Hi. Hi, Jack. Hi, Sharon. What's the difference between this show and the original The Osbournes from 2002?
I mean, this is a biographical kind of story of my father's life. So, you know, The Osbournes was more of a fly on the wall docuseries that just saw us living our lives in that moment. And this is a journey that takes you back to, you know, the origins of who my dad is as a child and all the way up to present day. So, you know, you get everything from, you know, his time in Sabbath to going solo to, you know, marrying my mother to, you know, and everything in between.
Next, Mariana.
Yes, we will continue with Adriano Maceo from Clarín Newspaper. Adriano?
Argentina.
Hello. What's
Argentina.
up? Hello, Jack. Hello, Sharon.
Hello, how are you?
How are you? Thank you for this. My question is simple, but maybe deep. What makes you guys feel prouder about Ozzy? What's the most you love about him?
For me, he's a survivor. He's lived one hell of a life, and he just survives what life has thrown at him. He will pick himself up and start all over again. And he's a good man. He doesn't pretend to be anything he's not. What you see is what you get with him. And he's just, an amazing survivor. He's managed to come through things that other people in this industry have not survived. Ozzy has survived, and he's prospered, and he's still, after maybe 52 years, he's still relevant in the music industry. People still love to hear him, and it's just amazing. He's had an amazingly interesting life.
Great.
Thank you. La siguiente pregunta, next question, please, Mariana.
Yes, it's the time of Andrés Hoyos from Colombia, El Tiempo. Andrés?
Hi, Sharon. Hi, Jack. How are you?
Hello.
Thank you for your time. Okay, I want to know, I think that you, as the Osbourne family, should receive a lot of proposals to make TV shows. Which are the conditions that you have on account to decide if you want or not be a part of a specific projects?
I think it's a feel. I think it has to feel right. Most things that we all do as a family kind of tend to filter through my production company most of the time. And yeah, I don't know. It's just if it feels right, and if it's one of those things where we're all able to do it, and it's not something that we might regret, we usually will take it into consideration. But if anything, it all comes down to the feel and the vibe of the show.
And you, Sharon?
Thank you, Jack. Mariana, next question, please.
Thank you.
Okay, it's from Felipe Cruz of Beija Magazine, Brazil. Felipe?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Ozzy life is widely known. Many books have been writing about him. Now you have this TV show. So what news do you have to know about Ozzy that anyone knows until now, until today? And something about his Parkinson treatment or any news?
Jack, do you want to take it?
What is it? Just to preface, so you want like what people might not know before watching the documentary versus now? Is that the question?
Correct.
And about
Yes.
the Parkinson
Okay.
treatment.
Yeah, I mean, we listen, in the documentary, we're given 2 hours to tell 72 years. So we try and fit as much as we can. There are stuff in the film where it's stuff people already know, and then we try and sprinkle in a lot of things that people don't know about. First-hand accounts of certain stories and things that kind of go a bit deeper. As far as his Parkinson's and the way that we tackle it in the film, when we shot this, it was during his kind of the bulk of his diagnosis. So we acknowledge it, we talk about it, and that's kind of where we're at with it. What we know is what we put out there. Mom, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, it changes every day. Some days Ozzy is brilliant. His walking is fantastic. He feels great. And then the next week he could have, 2 really bad days where he doesn't feel a lot of energy. So nothing is permanent with it. It changes all the time. And, Ozzy works out with a physiotherapist. Every new medicines that come out for Parkinson's, we look into and the best treatments for him. So, you know, every day is a different day. It's not like you have this, so for the rest of your life, you're going to be sat in your chair. That's not the way it is for Ozzy.
But it's certainly
Thank
not
you.
slowing him down at all. I mean, you know,
No.
he recorded one album, he's doing another right now. We're shooting another show. It's like, you know, his diagnosis has, you know, has slightly changed his life, but I would not say it's drastically altered his life.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Sharon. Next question, Mariana, please.
Yes, it's from Juan Carlos Garcia from Reforma newspaper, Mexico. Juan Carlos?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, hello guys, congratulations on this work. Sharon, nowadays we live in the time where female singers have more doors open in the industry compared with the time when you started. But with your experience, what would be the advice for new female talents that they want to make it big on the rock? Because it supposes an industry dominated by men, and I'm not very sure in the rock the empowerment it's as strong with the female. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Listen, there are a million pop singers who are female, but there are much, much less women that want to go into the field of rock. And so, yes, you're right. There are so many, you know, much fewer women that want to work in the rock field. But, you know, it's very different now. There are, you know, people look at women differently now. They are, you know, if you're good at what you do, you get your credibility. And just make sure that whatever field you go into, especially the rock field, you have to know that you are good, that you truly are gifted and good at what you do. Because in the rock field, it's not like the pop field where people, they'll tell you right to your face, you know, like, bye, next.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Next question, please, Mariana.
Yes, it will be from Elba Cris from Wall, Brazil. Elba?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. First, congratulations for the documentary. My question is, before the Kardashians, the Osbourne family made history on television, sharing home and life on a reality show. Here in Brazil, the reality shows like Big Brother and The Farm really bring to the audience really debate. People watch the television and start to think and talk about several issues. Now, for you, the Osbourne family, can you list positive and negative effects of reality shows on for the audience?
Oh, there's so many fields of reality TV now, so many. All I can talk of is, you know, when you go in and the family. I'm not talking about the competitive types or of reality or the Big Brother type, which was really a sort of experiment for how people would be if they were, you know, locked in together for a long period of time, how people would react. That's Big Brother. But when we talk about reality shows on families today, it's all has a lot of structure. It's like producing any other TV show because they don't film the way we used to, where 24-hour cameras are going on and on and on and following you and going everywhere. They usually say, well, we've got 6 weeks of filming. We're going to do this, this, and this. And it's already pre-written and it's not spontaneous. It isn't organic. It's written. It has so much structure to it. So you don't get shows like the Osbournes or Anna Nicole. Hers was real. And you just don't get that because it's too expensive. And most families are quite boring.
Okay, next question. Vamos, Mariana.
Yes, from Roque Casiero from Página 12, Argentina. Roque?
Hi guys, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Thank
I have already watched the documentary and I can honestly say it's absolutely honest and it's amazing. And the one thing I would like to know if through all these years, if at any point you thought Ozzy had run out of lives.
Man, that's a tough one. Yeah, I think there's been many a time we've sat around being like, oh no, is this the final one? You know, I was talking to my mom the other day, and we were joking that I don't think 1980s Ozzy would have done very well in 2021. I think the man who he was back then just would get canceled really quickly. But fortunately, he weathered that storm pretty well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's, you know, some cats have 9 lives, some have more, you know, maybe, you know, I'm hoping he's got plenty more up his sleeve.
I think Kelly put it right when she said he is the true Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Next question,
some abuse
Mariana.
over the years. Bounce back.
Yes, from Mateo Duarte of Radio W from Colombia. Mateo?
Hi, Jack. Hi, Sharon. Nice to meet you. What a pleasure. I have seen the documentary too, and it's striking how much Ozzy have overcome, getting fired, his health issues, the death of a good friend, etc. And he always pushed forward. What do you think that maybe that is? Maybe that he has even a higher purpose in life? Have you ever thought about retiring?
No,
Sharon?
he loves doing what he does. He loves his audience. He has a love affair with his audience. It keeps him. That's Ozzy, you know. Ozzy and his music are one. And listen, he's had to slow down like everybody. There's been no touring for so long, and there won't be any touring this year either. But you just don't think about it. You live in the day. We all live in the day. We don't think about next year and the year after. We just, you know, just live in the present. We don't think about it. Sorry?
Mariana, next question.
Yes, from Marian Morizawa from O Estado, Brazil. Marianne?
Hello. Yes, hello. I wanted to ask you, of course, you know, I imagine you know the stories and all, but is it hard for you, like, you know, to watch his whole life passing through on TV, and how do you feel about that, and how does he feel about that?
I think for me it was difficult making the doc, and you know, and then seeing it at the time that we did it, because we were, I would probably say 80% of the film was done when, you know, he took his fall and he got the kind of official Parkinson's diagnosis. So it really was like this strange, you know, I was like, is this, you know, we didn't know what the hell was going to happen with him. So it was kind of a strange time to be working on a biopic, because, you know, there were times where I was like, is this more of a eulogy than a biopic? Because it was really, it was pretty scary there for a period.
It's I think when you show somebody's life journey from a young man to, you know, there's pictures of Ozzy when he was like 20 years old here, and you see Ozzy at 20, 21, and then you see Ozzy at 70. It's somebody's life journey, and you see them go from an innocent you know, guy that had no responsibilities, nothing, just a dream. And then you see that dream come true, and then you see the tolls that life have taken on that man. And then you see the way they've run their life, what that has done to that man. And then you know, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry. And especially when you're watching somebody that you absolutely adore and love. And sure, you know, it brings back memories, and you see how powerful and just exuberant Ozzy was in, you know, when he was 20 and 30, and it just, you know, loved life. And that life has changed, as everybody's life changes when they hit the age that Ozzy's at now.
Thank you.
Mariana, siguiente pregunta, next.
Yes, it will be from Uribe DJ from Colombia of Claro TV.
Hello, Sharon, Jack. How are you? First of all, it's an absolute pleasure to be here and to be talking to you. I wanted to ask you something that the previous journalist already kind of asked, because I wanted to know about the challenging things of making this documentary, like reliving events, digging things from the past and deciding what to show, what not to show, because after all, you're Ozzy, right? And your family. And I don't know if this kind of bring you guys together at some points or kind of separate you guys at some point, making this journey with him.
Yeah, I mean, it was very difficult to figure out what to include and what to take out. You know, ultimately, you kind of have to. It's like it's a jigsaw puzzle. You know, you figure out what the frame is, and then you start working your way inwards, and that's kind of what we had to do. You know, you're given 2 hours to put, you know, to tell the story of 72 years, and so. You know, there was some stuff that we kind of glossed over, which might have been a little bit more important. And then there are others that we focused on because they had to do with more where he is today. So yeah, it was definitely a challenge. And our director, Greg Johnston, really, you know, that he bared that load, and he, you know, he did an amazing job stringing the story together to make it as kind of captivating and informative as possible.
Has he told you guys what he wanted to do from this point on with his 10th life, 11th life, and so on?
Yeah.
I think he just wants to get back out on the road.
Yeah. He's in the studio, he wants to finish this album, and then he just wants to keep writing and recording and be with his band. It's very frustrating not to be able to work with his band. So he's looking forward to that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mariana, next question.
Yes, from Belén Eligio from El Sol de Mexico newspaper. Belén.
Thank you. Guys, I have a question for both of you. How is it different, the famous Ozzy Osbourne that everybody knows, from the family man Ozzy Osbourne that you know? And for Sharon, I would like to know more about the situation you're currently living. He was by your side when you got cancer, and now it's your turn to take care of him. So how has your relationship evolved during these particular episodes of your lives?
Mm-hmm. It's all part of marriage, you know, being there for each other. And yes, Ozzy was there for me, and I've always been there for him. But it's just, I have an amazing amount of respect for my husband that grows, and you learn to love in a different way after so long. You know, in a couple of months, we will have been married 39 years. But I've known Ozzy, God, nearly 50 years. So, you know, he's always been in my life, and the thought of not having Ozzy in my life is just not acceptable. It's, you know, we've always been together. And, you know, your love does change and grows in different directions, and it hasn't stopped. You know, my love for Ozzy hasn't stopped growing.
Thank you. Next question, Mariana, please.
Yes, and the last one from Matías Horta from Miradas, Argentina. Matías? Matías, are you ready?
Yes. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Chuck.
Hi.
Yeah, I mentioned the Ozzy biopic. What is the status of the project?
Jack,
I think he broke up. What was that?
On Ozzy's life story, the movie.
The movie. He's asking about the movie. What is the status of the project?
You can answer that one. I don't want to get sued.
We can't say who it's with because we're very shortly putting out a press release, but it's all very positive. But the press release will be out very soon.
Thank you. Now is the turn of Nana Estrini or Mariana Estrini from Sky Brazil. You have the last question, Mariana. Go for it, please.
Hi, hello, how are you guys?
Good,
I'd like to know, Ozzy went through his career on music without hiding his personality, and he changed the rock and roll scene. I want to know, what message would you like to send the next generation with his story? And what is it like being part of all this?
Jack.
Oh man, that's it's a long question. I mean, I don't necessarily know what advice I would give a musician today. I would leave that up to the music manager on the interview. But you know, it's definitely been a as a son, it's been a very interesting and like I'm full of so much gratitude for the life that I've had and the father that I've had, just because of, I mean, my entire life has been a gift, and it's been made possible because of, you know, who he is as a father, and you know, and I don't ever take that for granted.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank
now,
you.
Sharon, you mentioned a phrase within the bio. He doesn't need pity. Ozzy just need a stage.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yes, when I say pity, it's not for people to feel sorry for Ozzy because of his, you know, recent diagnosis and also his accident on his spinal cord. Ozzy he doesn't want anybody's pity. He's had an incredible life, and, you know, to make Ozzy happy is just give him a stage, and then Ozzy will, you know, be as happy as he's always been. Just to know that he will be back on stage and he will be performing. That's all he needs.
And before you go, Sharon, we were looking forward for this interview. We watched the bio and we were surprised and impressed by the amazing way that Jack and his team put together an amazing story of a wonderful human being who happened to be an artist who defined the music scene. But the most surprising thing, not only in the documentary, but also in the interview today, was to find that the storytelling is all about an amazing story of love. And the moment that you kiss Ozzy after he defined the most amazing experience of your life, of his lifetime, as Sharon, was an amazing gift, an amazing moment that no one of us can ever forget. Thank you so much for sharing all those amazing times with us. And thank you for the music. Thank you for the love. And thank you for all these amazing gifts that are wrapped in this documentary and in this interview, Sharon and Jack. Thank you.
But we have to thank you all, and we have to thank all of the fans in South America who have been so loyal to Ozzy over the years. And, you know, Ozzy says, without his fans, he's nothing. So then we would be nothing. So we want to thank you for everything, for supporting him through good, bad, and ugly. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jack. Any final words before we watch the bio on A&E on the 15th?
No. I'm just really glad you enjoyed it. You know, it was a definite labor of love. And yeah, I just hope everyone at home can, you know, take something new away.
So we are going to share now, Carmen. Remember the premiere, el estreno es en América Latina el 15 de marzo y en Brasil es el 20 de marzo. Y ahora vamos a compartir con ustedes un video que resume en pocos minutos la belleza de una vida dedicada al amor, a su familia y a la música. Y a pesar que las formas no fueron las más conservadoras, han definido la historia del rock y la música a nivel global. ¿Así es, Carmen? ¿Estás de acuerdo?
Así es. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Thank you so much for sharing this wonderful story. We're so excited. We can't wait to watch the bio in A&E, and hopefully everybody will. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all the gifts. And now we are going to enjoy 2 minutes of the bio as a sneak peek so everybody can enjoy and see what we're talking about. Thank you so much for everything, Sharon and Jack and Ozzy.
He constantly works at trying to be a better person, at trying with his sobriety, at becoming a better father, at being a good granddad, and just constantly trying to be better. I love that about him.
I think people love my father for the same reasons I love my father. He is the most irresistible madman you will ever meet in your life.
Paul's class are singing Crazy Train at their school play. I don't know, it's kind of cool. You know, yeah, he's done a lot of like fucking weird things and he's been shit at times, but like his contribution's been far greater than any of his faults. Like, that's how he should be remembered.
You know, the time when I will retire, when I can hear him nail a lid on my box. And then I'll fucking do an encore. I'm the Prince of Darkness.
A&E presenta Marzo al Cuadrado.
¿Listo para volver? No puedo creer que estén aquí. Me encanta.
2 estrenos exclusivos.
Voy a contactar a todas las agencias de noticias del estado.
2 días únicos.
Oigan, ¿vieron que pasó un cerdo volando?
Marzo al Cuadrado. Bull. NCIS Los Ángeles. Nuevas temporadas. Disfrútalas primero solo por A&E.
Oye, no estarás dudando de ti, ¿o sí? Un tipo listo como tú. El mundo cambió. Solo podemos estar a la distancia y esperando un milagro.
Y los milagros llegan justo a tiempo.
Es grandioso volver.
Bull. Nueva temporada. Jueves 4 de marzo. A las 10. Por A&E.
He hecho todo lo que está en mi poder para reincorporarte. La posición de enlace con NCIS ha terminado.
Sé el primero en saber quién abandonará el equipo de NCIS Los Ángeles. Nueva temporada, viernes 5 de marzo, a las 10. Estrenos, solo por A&E.